Hi guys, so if you saw my video last week, you'll have seen me making this, and yeah, I'm making a Warhammer 40K chest set. These are 3D printed parts, well, with some Warhammer parts included as well. And as you can see, yeah, so I've made one team, and it's the Dark Angel Veterans. Absolutely love how these come out. Obviously magnetised because, well, you guys, you know I love magnets, so they won't fall off the board. And yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job on getting the pawns to look like pawns, knights to look like knights, the king, the queen, all the rest of it. And yeah, absolutely love how this has come out. So obviously this is just the plain board. In this video you'll see me make the opponents as well as the rest of this board, because there is going to be a compartment underneath which, well, it holds all these wonderful chess pieces. So one thing I didn't do with these pawns, and that is put their chapter emblems on. And the main reason for that is, well, I didn't have any Dark Angels, so I didn't have any of the transfer sheets. So quick pop to eBay, and yeah, bought a pack of sheets, or one sheet, just for £5, not too bad. So I'm going to use, well, their chapter emblems, and these go on the, well, their left pauldron, I believe. I hope so, because that's where, well, I'm about to put them. So I put the transfer sheets that I needed into some water for about 10-15 seconds. And then a case of, well, just sliding them onto the pauldrons. And obviously I did this for all of them. But as you can see, obviously, because these are going to go on pauldrons that are, well, rounded, sometimes they don't sort of fold very well. Well, there's a nice, easy, simple solution to make these, or make them curve a little bit. And that's by using this microsole. This sort of softens the decals, well, as it kind of says so on the label. Yeah, it softens them up so they sort of bend and curve a whole lot better. So it's simply a case of getting some on your brush, brushing it on. Obviously not putting too much on, because say when this makes them bendy, it can also dissolve the things. So they'll literally just sort of break apart. So try not to put too much on, but obviously trying to put the right amount on. So this stuff I don't really use much, because I don't really do much with transfers. I do have a drawer full of transfers, and obviously I've got some more to add to that sort of collection now. But yeah, it is a case of using this stuff, brushing it on, moving it out, and as you can see, it then softens the decal enough that it does sort of curve rather nicely on, well, on a rounded shape. So yeah, it's simply a case of going along and doing this to all of them. Okay, so that's them sort of sorted. Now we can get on. So before I show you who their opponent is, I'm going to quickly show you what I've done to the board, just, well, to finish it off really. So I cut out some MDF sort of, well, kind of like panels, glued them around this to make a kind of a box shape. As I say, my plan is to have a drawer in this. So you slide the drawer out, and that's what keeps all the miniatures in. And to make the whole thing look a little bit more sort of Warhammer 40K and, well, Space Marine-y, what I've done is I've printed out some little panels that I'm going to glue onto the side. And these are obviously like the, well, an interior of a spaceship. So yeah, printed out loads of these. This would also give the whole structure some strength. And I say, just make the whole thing look, well, a whole lot nicer than just a plain box. So nice and simple, nice and quick, nice and easy. But before I glue them on, I have put some magnets in this. Again, guys, you'll know I actually go nuts on magnets. And the reason for this is when I slide the box in, the magnets are there, so it won't fall out, well, won't fall out as easy as would do without magnets. Yeah, as you can tell, I never script my videos. I wing it, I waffle, and sometimes I don't always say the right thing. So there we go. So the drawer's in, say magnets are there, but you can obviously still, well, pull the thing out. So it's all glued in place, primed in black, and now I'm going to do some dry brush with this copper, just to give it obviously a metallic look, but I don't want it to look too, well, too neat and clean. So that's why I always find doing the dry brushing with metallic colours really does give good, well, good effects. Although I must admit, when I was filming this, you can't see it as well as, well, as I can see it. And this is why sometimes the camera does sort of do its own adjustments. I say camera. Obviously, I've been using a phone to do my videos, well, for the last 4 years. Mainly because the phone is nice and small. I used to be a professional photographer, wedding photography, but those cameras I've got are just too big, too chunky, especially when I have them literally right in front of my face. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for me to use a nice thin phone because, well, I can see what I'm doing then, he says sometimes. And there we go, yeah, that's the chessboard sort of complete. So really pleased with how it's turned out. And I love the fact that obviously the miniatures, because they are magnetised, yeah, they're not going to fall off, which again, magnets, yeah, I use them wherever I can. Funny enough, I even use them inside the drawer. So the drawer compartment slides out nicely, and there's magnets in the compartments, so when these are in there, yeah, these shouldn't sort of rattle about either. So a great way of storing things, and yeah, love it. A bit of orange felt at the bottom, just because, well, I love orange, and there we go. So that's the board now complete. It's just a case of, well, who did I use for their opponents? And a lot of you guys did leave comments on my last video saying who it would be. Yeah, there's a lot of orcs obviously mentioned, and well, it possibly would have been orcs because I just love orcs, but no, I went with something different, something I've not really painted much of. And it's these bugs by Puppets War Miniatures. Obviously they go by a different name in the Warhammer world, but I'm not going to sort of say names because, well, get trouble for that kind of thing. But yeah, love how these look, and obviously Space Marines against bugs, yeah, got to be a winning combination. And as you can see, it's a whole variety of looks. So this is the other thing obviously I had when thinking of making the chess set, is I wanted to try and get creatures or people to represent, well, the chess pieces, to make it easily recognisable on which piece is, well, which piece. So we'll leave links down below, guys, so we can get hold of the bugs by Puppet War Miniatures. But absolutely love how these look. So as you can see, yeah, I've already put them on the bases and slap chop painted them. So the little dude there, he's going to be the pawn, as on a smaller base. These are the bigger bases, and this lovely looking thing is going to be the queen, as well, big and chunky. So the king, yeah, he's relatively big and chunky too. Loads of little swords here. Love how these guys look. But definitely xenomorph look in there. Absolutely gorgeous looking miniatures. So for all of them, yeah, this is going to be the bishop. I just felt, well, this guy kind of looked bishopy. He looks like he's got like a pointed hat, even though it's actually part of him. I love the fact you can see the brains in these as well. So for the knights, yeah, I've gone for something with some wings, just because obviously then it can jump over other sort of other pieces, which I thought was quite apt. And then finally for the sort of the tank, yeah, I've gone for this big dude. I say tank, castle. Yeah, he is big, he is chunky, he's glorious. So these are all the ones that I've gone for. Obviously printed out all of them, and I'm going to batch paint the lot because obviously this is going to make painting so much quicker, so much easier. So I did have a little look online to see how these are painted, and most of them seem to be like purple colours. Well, I wasn't too fussed on the colour purple, so I've gone with my favourite sort of colours, and that's orange. Well, I say it's orange, kind of orangey, yellowy brown. As always, yeah, I always try and pick out all the paints that I'm going to use in any kind of painting thing I do, just because it makes it easier then. But like always, sometimes I do change my mind, and you'll see coming up later on, yeah, the grey I thought was a bit naff, so I didn't do the grey. And then yeah, painting them. If you haven't used the dipping inks by Green Stuff World, one thing I will say, guys, is they're a lot wetter than the Army Painter paints. Again, there's probably a better term for it, but I'm going to use the term wetter. So yeah, you don't put as much on your brush. Well, I do like the dipping inks because of this, because they really do pull even more in all the nooks and crannies, because obviously it is more wetter. Yeah, guys, let me know. There's probably a better comment than saying it's wetter. It's almost like it's been diluted more. But say I love it because it does seem to do. There's a lot more contrast in the nooks and the crannies to the flat top areas. But say this orange, I love using this. I've used it quite a bit on, well, terrain and other bits, because this stuff, it does seem to vary between a yellow to an orange, even to a brown, depending on obviously how thick and how wet it is. So slap chop batch painting, yeah, really is the way to go. As you say, I've got what have I got? 16 miniatures here, and I'm able to do these well in an afternoon, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously, not too many colours with these, but absolutely love how these look. I say I do love the miniatures that I've chosen from Puppets War Miniatures. Yeah, they do sort of represent, I think, quite well the chess pieces they're meant to. So it should be quite easy to sort of work out which one is which. Because one thing I didn't want to do, and that is to have to put on the bases of these like what it was, whether it was a pawn or a knight. Yeah, so I really sort of took a lot of time trying to get miniatures that kind of, yeah, I thought represented well what they're meant to be. And don't forget, guys, this month I am going to be doing a video every day, just to try and get through my my pile of shame. Obviously, this chess set certainly isn't a pile of shame, because this is obviously, well, this has been 3D printed. But yeah, this month I'll be releasing a video every day, showing me painting, well, anything from Zombicide miniatures, Hero Quest miniatures, Kill Team miniatures, and any other kind of Warhammer miniatures that might be out there. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe, just so you never miss out on a video, as yeah, there's going to be loads this month. And again guys, if anything you want to see me paint, yeah, by all means let me know down in the comments. I am trying out other games, more so to paint their miniatures, not to actually play the game, because obviously at the moment the only games I really play are Hero Quest and Kill Team. I have got the Zombicide game, yet to play that yet, maybe one day, although first of all I need to get all the miniatures painted, because as I always say, I find it very difficult to play a game with unpainted miniatures, even though they still might look good. Yeah, I like to have them painted. So yeah, the grey, yeah, I thought the grey was going to make this thing look a bit pants, so I've gone with this good old Goddess Glow. Yeah, again, sometimes I get the paints out I think I'm going to use, but when I then come to use them, it's like, nah, change your mind, and then use something else. Well, one thing I am getting good at doing now, and that is actually combining using different paints, as in previously I'd go through stages of only ever using Army Painter speed paints, so you see me only use them in a video. Then I went through a stage of only using Green Stuff World dipping inks. Again, I don't know what it is, but there's something inside me that sometimes makes it difficult for me to actually paint a miniature using paints by different manufacturers. Yeah, not too sure what that's all about. Some sort of OCD, I guess. But I am getting better now, because sometimes one of them will do a colour that I love, and doesn't do a colour that's good. Does that make sense? No, don't think so. Yeah, so I need to get into the use of using different manufacturers to get the paints that I kind of want to use. I still don't think that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Let's get back to the video and say these guys, yeah, it really didn't take too long at all. Love how they look though. I say even the painting, very simple with these guys, but even loved how that looks. And yeah, this is definitely a chess set to be proud of, I think. So I have made two now. This is the second one. There's a link somewhere that I'll put up, so you can go and see the other Warhammer 40K chess set I made, because the other one was actually made with all Warhammer miniatures. But yeah, I think I did a good job of that one as well, because again, that one had a nice big base to it. It lit up, you could change the colours, and I even did it so you could put a fog machine on it, and you could have fog coming up through the grills on the chessboard. And there we go, 16 lovely looking bugs, all painted, say, in a good afternoon. Really enjoyed it. Say, batch painting, speed painting, slap chop painting is definitely the way to go when you want to paint, well, a shed load of miniatures. So I do have a couple of ideas for some other sort of chess set pieces. I may do them, well, in an upcoming video, but for now this is how it all looks. And yeah, I love the miniatures, love the board, really think it's come together really well. I say definitely you can recognize the pieces quite easily. Well, I think I can, but obviously it's probably because I picked them. But yeah, absolutely love the look of this chess set, and obviously love the fact that I've made the drawer underneath, where you can, well, store all the miniatures when they're not being sort of used or in play. And so if I do make any other sort of sets up, then yeah, you can have a set on show, and well, another set or two in the lovely drawer underneath. And again, magnets. I just can't get over how much I love the use of magnets. Okay guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff, and watch the videos I'm going to do, well, every day this month. Okay guys, you all take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.